What's up, guys? RobX22 here with Frank the Tank, and today we're going to talk about the Whispers of the Old God expansion. Tomorrow launches the brand new expansion for Hearthstone, Whispers of the Old God. And a couple things we wanted to bring up, five main topics we really wanted to, is we want to talk about what is our most excited card for the new expansion. What do we think the biggest change to the game is going to be, which kind of is like a split with the third one, which is the biggest impact. And then we're going to talk about which ones we think might be the new top tiers, and which ones that were top tiered or tiered decks that are going to pretty much be demolished. So Frank, you said the first card you were interested in that you like the most is Ragnaros, the Light Lord.
Yeah, so with Ragnaros the Light Lord, it's different from the original Ragnaros, where this Ragnaros both heals you, can heal your hero or any minion you have for 8 health, and you can also attack face for 8.
I think
And on
that's.
the
Go ahead.
turn
Sorry.
8, it's a pretty big swing.
I think that's the biggest part right there is where you're saying what's going to happen on turn 8. Now, keep in mind, this is only a paladin only card. It's not a neutral.
Right.
Different than the other Ragnaros, which was neutral. I think the biggest change here is you're right, is that he's going to attack somebody. The old Ragnaros, an 8/8 is a powerful minion as it is. The
Yeah,
fact that
but
he can
also
crash and then afterwards there's a chance he might get healed. That's a big change right there.
yeah,
Originally, I didn't like this card, but after looking at it and the fact that like you said, you could play it and then attack the next turn and it be healed, it could be a game changer, especially if he heals your hero when you're at low health.
yeah, I mean, like you have to also consider the fact that with the removal of GBG cards and Nax cards, you're losing Healbot. You're losing that like Healbot is like it's a staple in most any deck that you have. It's a staple card because rogues really can't heal besides neutral minions. Think about it: priest, paladin, um, shaman. Really, 3, 4 classes are the only ones that can heal. And it's a pretty big card to have on the field. It's essentially a heal bot that can do 8 damage to the face, pretty much.
Different turn, different spin on everything. And again,
Yeah.
I really haven't heard much talk about it because there's a lot of powerful minions in this new one and I think I'm going to get into that when I think the biggest change of the game is going to be that you're going to see an approach of the game where it kind of comes on as more of a strong minion. If the strong minion's left on the field, it's game over. Because we'll get into Cthulhu in a little bit as well. But the card that I'm kind of looking forward to here is I'm ready to see the Ancient One. If you haven't seen the Ancient One, he is a 30/30, but you can't just summon him. Not 30 attack, 30 health. You can't just normally summon him. He takes a little bit of a luck and strategy to get on the field because you need to get what's known as the blood of the ancients on the field first, and you need to get two of them, and if there's two of them on the field at the end of your turn, they merge into the ancient one. So I'm excited for this card because this is kind of going with what I think is going to be the biggest change of the game on terms of it's going to be a bigger minion smash up. You're going to see a lot more powerful minions hitting the field over time or in a quicker amount of period of time. And one deck that I kind of been building, kind of to get ready for this, is I built a warrior deck that also plays. It's like a kind of like a giant warrior where I use like the alarm bots to kind of switch out the minions for big ones. Varian, Witch Sea Witch to play minions at 5 cost, which I think is going to be seen. It's you started seeing Sea Witch towards the end because of Astral Druids. Astral Druids were running it, but it worked really well in the Warrior deck. The card that I think that's going to make this flip on is the Blood Warriors spell card. For that, it's a 3 cost spell, epic, and it adds a copy of each damage minion to your hand. Now, that's going to not only once I get it on the field allow me to get another one in my hand immediately. I could also pair this card with Faceless Manipulator to get Blood of the Ancient on in one turn. I mean, if Sea Witch is already on the field, it's a good possibility that I might get Blood of the Ancient out in one turn. And if he's left, Frank, you're Ragnaros. Doesn't matter if he's gonna heal you. I'm gonna hit for 30.
Yeah, but you also have to keep in mind, so turn 9, you drop a brood, and let's say you faceless the brood, you got 2 on the field. Okay. I end my turn and you get the 30/30 on the field,
There he
but
is.
he can't attack because it's his first turn he's being summoned.
No, he
So
is
I still
summoned at
get
the
all
end
turn.
of my turn. So he's going to be on the field one time for you. If he's on, that's what you have. You have one turn to kill him essentially, or block him.
Right. But I can also it's really two turns to stop you because I could also try and kill one of your broods, or I can just wait until and bait you out. Wait till your two broods combined, and then I can kill your 30-30 with a Shadow Word Death and execute, shield slam, whatever.
That might, and that again, talking to like that kind of, again, we're gonna go into what the biggest impact of the game is. And personally, for me, like I said, I think it's the smash of these giant minions that are gonna be hitting the field because you have cards like Sethune. Or Cthulhu, who's Cthulhu, one or the other, right? You have cards like that, like him, where you're gonna buff him up. And imagine like most cards that when they buff him that are coming out, they're giving him 2/2. So if I get three or two of those minions out, he's now a 10/10 or a 12/12. And Battlecry, deal damage equal to this minion's attack randomly split. And here's the catch: like he would have been, I think, really, really fair with that if it was split among all characters or all minions or anything in the field. It's specifically enemies that he's targeting. He's not just targeting
Yeah,
my minions. I'm sorry, he's not targeting my minions. He's targeting your minions as well, not just mine. So I mean, if I get him to 12/12 and I play him, more than likely he's also going to clear the field, which is another reason why you have like one turn to get this guy off the field or block him, or you're in trouble. So biggest change to me is definitely going to be that it's more of a smash up now. I think they're kind of getting rid of, and that's why you see Nax being removed. A lot of these death rattle effects that kind of block that. Think Sledge Belcher's no longer going to be there. Mad Scientist will be gone. Mad Scientist can no longer pull out for a freeze mage like an ice block or anything. So I think the
yeah.
game's going to become very heavy hitting as well. What about you?
I mean, the meta is definitely going to see a big shift. I mean, I feel like in the beginning, maybe like the first couple weeks, you're going to see definitely a lot of different decks, trying to a lot of different classes too, just trying to run Cthulhu, trying to run all the new God cards essentially, and it's going to be interesting what decks stick and what decks don't because obviously probably by the end of the month you're going to have a solid deck list of the of meta
Right.
decks. Most likely going to be your freeze mage, your control warrior. Rogue got hit with nerfs.
Well, Freeze
You
Mage has
saw
always been around. I'm glad you brought that out because I'm a big Freeze Mage player. There's a lot like of cards in here that are coming out, such as Shatter, which destroys a frozen minion. And I argued with one of our friends about this. There's one card that's coming out for the Freeze Mage that it's when you cast a spell, he randomly freezes another minion on the field just by casting a spell. I think that's great. I think that's great for Freeze Mage, and I think that the fact that because Freeze Mage, it's only losing from what I saw one card. It's losing Mad Scientist. I can no longer pull out my secrets easily. That's the only catch. I think everything else is pretty much staying the same for the Freeze Mage. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And Freeze Mage is
yeah.
already like a turn three.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, obviously
tier three.
everyone's losing Healbot, so if you're a Freeze Mage and you run Healbot, I mean, but keep in mind I mean, Freeze Mage is also stronger because you have Doomsayer. What do you have against, Doomsayer on, turn two, turn three, when you're playing a Zoo deck or anything like that? I mean, Leopard Gnome got nerfed down to 1 health. Knife Juggler got nerfed down to two. I mean,
And it's weird
it's a
because you're
lot. It's a
seeing a
lot harder now.
yeah, and it's weird because like I said, you're seeing a lot more minions with strength that actually carry more value to them. And that's bound to happen as the game goes on. So, but
Yeah.
so let's talk about these top tier decks. You're saying you think Freeze Mage is going to be on the top.
For specifically three: Freeze Mage, Control Warrior, because Control Warrior usually you run Elise,
Hmm.
and you run Alex Straws and just a good amount of high level minions. You're losing Big Game Hunter. He's now five. And sure, you might. I think there's one GVG card where you destroy when the battle cries destroy an enemy minion, but the cost is above seven or something like that. But
We're not losing
it's
Doomsayer. We're not losing Doomsayer.
no, not Doomsayer. Big Game Hunter. Big Game
Oh,
Hunter
okay.
goes from 3 to 5. Same attack stat. A 5 cost for a 4/2 is not valuable at all. It could die to a Bane of Doom. It could
Hmm.
die to a Dark Bomb. It can die to a lot of different things. So definitely like Control Warrior. Mate, you have Freeze Mage is going to be big because again, Doomsayer is there. It's a lot harder now to deal with Doomsayer, and then you also have Control Priest, which really didn't get hit that much either.
And
And most
that's part of
control decks,
my what I think is I don't know so much about the freeze mage. I play freeze mage. I think it has a good opportunity because it does have the ability to freeze these high powerful minions from crashing in. But if you cannot freeze for one turn, you're gonna regret it now. So I don't know so much if freeze mage will be in the top three decks. I do agree that control warrior because I'm already planning on building the warrior and Warrior is already strong as it is. It really didn't. The only hit that I really saw from Warrior was Death's Bite. Nothing else really, I don't think is going to make a huge impact. Death's Bite, losing Death's Bite's really going to hurt. But like you said, we've got a lot of high-powered minions, and Warrior can control as it is. So I think Warrior is going to stay up there, especially with Blood. Imagine Blood Warriors doesn't just have to be used on the Ancient one; that can be used on anything that's already being used for Control Warrior. I think that you will see Control Priest because Control Priest is going to be very, at least at the start, you'll see Control Priest because it's going to have the ability to, while people are figuring out how to play these new decks, it's going to be able to hold them to where they are, to the whole learning phase. It'll be able to control the
right?
high-powered minions. It'll be able to control the low-powered minions. I think that one's going to be a no-brainer. That you're going to see a reemergence of Priest as well. But the third one, and I actually thought that this one was going to be hit pretty hard. I actually think Druid is going to still be around. I don't think
I'm
Druid's really
thinking,
going anywhere. Savage Roar didn't get hit. Yes, it did lose charge, but it's getting some pretty good cards. Think of the way Druids play is they kind of play that really fast ramp, and now you've got cards like Mirror Keeper or Mire Keeper. I don't know exactly how they say them, but his effect
yeah,
is
Mire
he caught
Keeper,
yeah,
summon a 2/2 slime or gain an empty mana crystal.
and that
On
goes
turn 4, that's very good.
and you can really curve that now because think you can go turn one coin what is it, aspirant,
To
or you can
wild growth.
wild growth to that. You can really ramp up. And think about if you've been playing the meta recently, towards the end of this, and this goes with my theory on why I think that the new expansion is going to be very big on heavy minions, is you see Astral Druid really coming out. You see Astral
Yeah,
Druid coming out and already laying the groundwork on dropping these big minions. So now that you're actually going to have that build and you're going to be able to drop even bigger minions and stronger minions with it now, I think that you're going to see Druid maintain its spot on the top of the tier list. Um, you may, and this is
it's a
just a side note.
possibility.
This is a side note, and if it's not going to be a loss, I think Zoo Warlock will maintain because everyone's going to be trying these new decks, and the Zoo Warlock speed is going to be too fast for these high-powered decks to keep up with. So I think that's a strong possibility too. But I don't know if I would include Zoo Warlock in my top three there. It's either going to be top or it's going to be one of the decks that I think is going to lose its rank. I think you're going to see a drop in Patron for another rank loss because you're losing that Whirlwind for Warrior, not the Whirlwind, but you're losing the Death's Bite, along with a couple other key cards. And as for the third one, I really couldn't come up with a third one that I think is going to be hit. I think you're going to see dragons come up a little bit, but I don't think dragons
Oh
are going to be
yeah,
hit.
no question. Dragons are coming up, especially like Dragon Priest. It's gonna be even better. There's no question it's gonna be even better now
It's
with
it's
all the neutral dragons you have now.
hmm It's going to be fun to see. I'm excited to see everything. I'm excited to see Call of the Wild. I don't think Call of the Wild is going to be that good. For hunters, I don't really see hunters making any move. They Mage got a lot of cards. I don't see Warlocks really getting. The Warlocks got some. Don't get me wrong,
I
but
mean,
I don't see a whole
Renounced
lot.
Darkness for a Warlock. Renounced Darkness. Replace your hero power and Warlock cards with another class, and they cost one less for a 2 card. I mean, like yeah, it's completely RNG at that point,
Mhm.
but
Now,
still pretty cool.
Now, another card you brought up earlier was Spawn of N'Zoth, and that leads me to believe that I don't know how you didn't tell me how you were going to use him or what you're planning on with him,
Zoo
but
deck.
I think Zoo. I was thinking maybe Shaman. I was thinking because Shaman
Like, so
does have a
yeah,
lot
like
of Death Rattle
Shaman.
ability, and Shaman right now is really just a face deck. So I mean, if with this guy, if you're playing a face Shaman and you have Death Rattles in there, he's a no-brainer that he's going to be in. He's a brand new Undertaker was right, yeah, Undertaker. He's like the new version of Undertaker in a way.
Yeah.
So I mean, what you said? How do you said you plan on using them not for shaman? You plan on using them for something else?
Either, well, I mean, like you can go one of many different. I mean, like that's the cool thing about him though. He's very versatile. If you go face hunter, and you start running one and two minions, and that'll one, twos, and threes, and fours is usually what Face Hunter is.
Right.
You run that as your three when you got a board of let's say after Haunted Creeper is going away, but after you got a board of ones or twos, and they buff them to two. It's a good amount of
Hmm.
burst damage that you can get off that card, especially with if you start running death the Feign Death. It's nuts.
For Hunter.
Yeah, if you run Feign Death with that, and you got a board of a good decent value of minions.
Well, you also
Yeah,
have to run if the actual old god himself, Nazoth the Corruptor, if you're going to be doing this Death Rattle, because his effect is summon your Death Rattle minions that have died this game. And unfortunately, we're losing Baron Rivendeer. Unfortunately,
yeah,
imagine if we had Baron Rivendeer and Nazoth, which you can still do, and this is why I'm excited to play
wild.
Wild, is because you're going to be able to do some fun things where you play Baron Rivendeer and then summon Nazoth the next turn, and all of a sudden your board is packed with eight, like 8 Death Rattles that can go off. So
Yeah, I mean, imagine Brand's Bronzebeard Cthulhu.
you could
When your Cthulhu's got 20, let's say maybe 20 attack,
now,
deal 40 damage randomly, you're dead. That's
or
it.
or
Game over.
Dreadsteed is technically dead each time you kill it. You could use Nazoth to fill up your board with Dreadsteeds.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And and then you play Nazoth, the spawn in Nazoth. So you have all these dead dread steeds on the board, and now you play spawn in Nazoth, and all of a sudden, boom,
They're
your
all
dread
two
steeds are
two.
jacked up. Too bad Mal'Ganis is gone, but you could still play like the one if your board is filled with minions. She gains like 6 attack or something. I don't remember the name of the card off the top of my head. She was running Zulak. I know she's like you can run her in Zulak. Like if there's 6 minions on the field, gain like 5/5 or 4/4 or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, the Reliquically card.
That's her. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
She's a 1/1 but gains 5/5 if the field is essentially almost full.
So,
Yeah.
any other cards that you're kind of looking forward to here? I mean,
Have you seen Shifter Xeris at all? The neutral one drop.
yes, the legendary who transforms into a different minion each turn.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
That's
gonna be
that's a
fun.
very,
I'm
he's
excited to
got
see
his
him.
own he's got his own like highlight effect thing to make sure that that card isn't really like a an Iron Grizzly. It's actually Shifter Xeris, and he's going to change next turn. So pretty much he just sits in your hand, and it's very situational, and you decide, when he switches on your turn or whatever. Oh, does he fit the situation I'm currently in? Do I need a taunt, or do I need a charge or an attack? And you just wait it out.
And how about Vilefin Inquisitor, where she summons 1/1 Murlocs for Paladin? You might see that. I mean, I actually don't think she's going to be run because if you see the way Paladins are run now, they're very specific on which Murlocs are in their deck. If there's a Murloc that doesn't fit it, the whole deck doesn't work because it really
Yeah,
relies on
I
that.
think you're still gonna have Secret Paladin.
I
That's
think
not a question.
Secret Paladin is dead. I think that's actually going to be one of the a big loss in top tier deck. Thank you for reminding me. I can't believe I forgot that. That was like the one deck that I said was going to be gone
Yeah, but
because you're
you're
losing.
not losing anything from GBG or Nax,
But
are you?
Secret Paladin runs quite a few cards because it also runs a lot of neutral cards that have value to it. You're losing Muster for Battle. You're losing Shredder. You're losing Coghammer. You're losing Avenge from Nax. You're losing I think another secret from I can't think of it off the top of my head. You're losing another one from GVG. And then on top of that, they have the new card that's coming out, the Eater of Secrets, where he gains 1/1 for each secret. I think it is. Let's see if
Yeah,
I can
that's
find him real
crazy.
quick. I know I saw him yesterday. Eater of Secrets. Let's see. Eater of not World Secrets. He is here. He is right here. Eater of Secrets is a destroy all enemy secrets and gain 1/1 for each one. So
Yeah, that's
that
nuts.
aspect, yeah, he's really strong because if think of goodbye Doctor Six. Doctor Six is essentially gone because on turn 6 now, when you summon him or when you summon Doctor Six, he brings out anywhere from 3 normally to 5 secrets with him. So here we go. I got him. I found them on here. I put him up there right now. Eater of Secrets. Um, so yeah, you play Doctor Six, and then on next turn you play him. All the secrets are gone. The whole point of Doctor Six is he's a big board control or a big control card. So now all the
Definitely.
secrets are gone, and this card is now stronger than him, so he can kill him. So
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a
Also,
demise in it. Granted, this is going to be like this is going to be like a sled, not a sledge, Harrison Ford, Harrison Jones, Harrison Jones, Acidic Swamp Ooze, Kazan Mystic. It's
Yeah.
going to be one of those situational cards where if the guy's running it
With
and you do it,
with
you sit there and you go, "Are you kidding me? He really just played this card on me? Like he's running that card." Well, yeah, he's running that card because that's the deck. That's what normally beats him. So you'll see a lot of cards run this because Secret Paladin. It's I no, I don't even know if you'll see it. I think Secret Paladin is pretty much dead at this point. I think it's losing too much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not even the way I see it is you have a counter to Secret Paladin somewhat, and that was Keyzan Mystic. Sure, it
Hmm.
wouldn't remove all the secrets, but it could take away one. But at the same time, this is a direct counter to Keyzan Mystic, and he's a lot better than Keyzan Mystic because he doesn't
Oh.
steal the secrets, but he can destroy all of them. So
Hmm.
if you're playing against a secret mage and they have like four secrets up, play this. Yeah, sure, you get your mirror entity off, but I eat all the rest of your secrets. Buy counter spell, buy ice block, ice barrier, spellbender, vaporize, all gone.
I think I don't think you'll see him in Hunter decks because Flare will still be better than this. It'll have more value to it because you draw the
Oh
card.
yeah, no
You
question.
know, it costs.
Flare for two, draw a card, remove stealth, and destroy secrets. Flare is infinitely better than this, but from a neutral perspective, for anybody else other than Hunter, it's a great card.
Yeah. So, any last thoughts, Frank, before we close down the podcast?
No, I mean, I've been saving up my gold to buy packs. I got 2,500 gold saved up in addition to the pre-order, and then you get what I think it's like nine additional pre-order packs because they're
Hmm.
giving you two legendary quests on launch.
That's awesome.
Play casual games.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited.
Yeah, so they're giving you like a lot of with the pre-order. I'm getting at least like 80 packs.
Yeah,
It's great.
I'm doing a stream tomorrow for the opening. I'm doing the pre-order. I've got my free packs. I've got somewhere around the same ballpark as you, where I'll get around 20 plus packs. And then I'm going to
Yeah.
buy an additional 50 as well. So I'll be opening.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm going to open about 100 tomorrow. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I don't have a set time. It'll probably be sometime in the evening, probably around between 6 and 8. I'll be tweeting that out. So if you're interested, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, and feel free to watch the pack openings tomorrow. If I'm lucky, maybe I'll be able to put a face or two out there like Amaz does, because I watched him open his packs last time, and his facial expressions are priceless. They really are. So, all right, thanks for joining, and have a good night.
right.